I just wanted to start this video. If I could ask people to please pray for Anto Crossi. Anto is in hospital for the last 3 weeks. I spoke to him today and hopefully this week he'll be able to get out. So please keep him in his prayers. Strange how both of us went to Lourdes. I went there a month ago. He arrived after me and he's in hospital, and I had to finish my Camino early, but I just ask people to please keep Anto in your prayers. And another thing, I just wanted to congratulate the 1,900 men, Catholic men, who did the pilgrimage to Cotignac in France. Last year I visited there. It's one of the only places where St. Joseph appeared, along with Knock, but they've just finished the Catholic men's pilgrimage. I would have loved to have done it, but then I had planned the Camino at this time, so but next year, who knows. Anyway, just a big shout out to the 1,900 men that did the pilgrimage to Cotignac. If you ever are on the channel with Mary, Joseph Phoenix over in France, he has a channel with Mary where he does the daily prayers and stuff like that. So he sent me on a photo of the pilgrimage, and just a big shout out to Joseph and all the men over in France who did the pilgrimage. Just something that happened to me today. As I said, I came back to Ireland early, got checked out, I'm fine, no problems at all. But I was asking our Aurora, what's going on here? Because if you move things around, there's definitely some reason. There's some reason why you want me back in Ireland. Anyway, this afternoon, I went to an ordination here in the diocese. And there's just one thing that struck me that the Archbishop said during the ordination. And he said, it's an incredible time to be ordained for this man, the young man that was being ordained today, Mark Quinn. It's an incredible time to be ordained, but it's also, I would say, it's an incredible time to be Catholic. You know, I think that we live in an incredible moment in the Church's history, and it's an incredible moment of optimism. You know, it's, you know, our Lord is really calling us to be up to trust him, to have faith in him. I mean, on the Camino, the strange things that happened on the Camino when we were in Burgos, my daughter, who was with us at the time, she was with us for the first 2 weeks, but in Burgos, she said, we were going around the street, she said, "Daddy, come into this shop. There's some nuns in here. They've opened a shop." And I went into the shop, and there was 4 nuns selling the stuff that they make in the convent. And I said, "God, you set up here in the high street in Burgos?" And they just said, "Yeah, we wanted to bring our products here because in the convent, you know, not so many people know about them." And I was just saying to them, "Well, what order are you? Which religious order, which religious movement are you?" And they said, "We're Jesu Comunio." I said, "Mother Veronica." "Yeah, Madre Veronica. Yeah, that's our founder, Mother Veronica." I said, "I always listen to Mother Veronica's talks, because if you go to Jesu Comunio in Spanish and you put on her talks, like some of her talks get 2 million views. You know, 2 million views is a lot. 2 million people to listen to a woman talking is a lot." And I said, "Yeah, I put on her talks whenever I'm going out." She, as far as I'm aware, she only speaks Spanish, but you can do the auto translate of her talks, and she is really compelling. You know, Mother Veronica, her way of talking is like she's reflecting her contemplation of prayer of Christ. And she's got a really compelling way of talking about her encounter with Christ. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, I do encourage people to listen to her. And she's got, you know, a very large community of sisters in Spain at the moment. Jesu Comunio, you can look them up. And this is what we're called to. We are called to talk about what we've contemplated. The world needs those who have dug the well to tap into that deep water that is Christ and to give that water to the world. We need to be a people of God. In Irish, there's that phrase, Cailey J, people of God. And we need to be that people of God. But the people of God that we need to be today is a people that is united to God. And I was just thinking, well, how do you explain union with God to somebody? This was what was coming through in prayer. It's like telling people, what does honey taste like? You go and try to tell somebody, well, honey tastes like this. It's sweet. It has this consistency, depending on the flower that it, like Manuka honey. Try explaining to somebody what Manuka honey tastes like. I mean, you need to taste it yourself. You can do a lot of explaining, but until somebody goes and tastes the honey, they won't know what you're talking about. But once they've tasted the honey, then they come back, oh yeah, now I know what you mean by how great Manuka honey tastes like. Well, union with God is the same way. We can have union with God. We can talk about union with God, but you have to lead people to experience God themselves. And then they come back and say, oh, now I understand. Now I understand how great God is. Now I understand what God is trying to do. And this is the time in the church that we need to take up that mission of discipling people to know God. You know, this is why it's the most incredible time in the Catholic Church in Ireland that we have ever seen. I mean, it really is. There's no doubt about it. I thought today was beautiful. It was amazing to see the whole church full in Castlebar. And and you know what, you get an experience of a community. You know, we need to make every Sunday mass like this. You know, after mass they had the community center open. There was food and everything. You could talk to people and get and see people and so forth. Well, we need to do this in every parish in Ireland. You know, it's a bit like what you see in Derry with the Cursillo movement. You know, what they are doing, which is truly transformative. Truly, you know, bring that encountered out, because it's in there that we form each other, we help each other, where God works in his church. It is an incredible time to be Catholic. I know that for a fact. But it's a time that we need to drink the deep waters, to contemplate Christ. And it's in that contemplation. You know, I think Mother Veronica, she says it in her videos. She says, as somebody that has contemplated Christ, even an atheist or an agnostic, they're left aghast. They're left without words when they meet somebody that has actually contemplated Christ. You know, it's disconcerting. And this is the era. This is the time in the church where we need to be contemplatives in our walk of life, in where God has left us. Because if we're not contemplating what's above, how can we give what we haven't seen, what we don't understand, what we don't, God is calling us to contemplate. I was just thinking how strange it is on the Camino. When I fell that day, I was walking down it was raining. We had just left Salas. We'd left Salas in Asturias, and I was walking into Cornellana. It was bucketing rain. And as I said, I had this premonition of the fall. I knew it was going to happen. And I was just thinking, I turned to my son, I said, be careful and stuff like that. But what I was actually doing when I was walking down that day, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to David Torkington, Essentialist Press. I was listening to him. He's done these talks on just this, on contemplation, on union with God, because there is no other way to evangelize. As you can't have fruits if you're not united to the tree. You cannot do nothing without Christ. But we need to contemplate Christ. We need to receive his gifts. He is asking us to act in a certain way. He's asking us to evangelize, to transform. But it has to be him. We talk about the taste of honey, but you have to taste the honey to know what we're talking about. You have to go and experience Christ. We talk about what we've contemplated, but you have to contemplate. You have to receive the gifts that Christ is trying to give. And this is the incredible time to be Catholic, the most transformative time. Anyway, God bless you and pray for the church. An exciting time. Take care.